Have you noticed it lately? The way conversations skip over you. The way people speak to you slower, softer, like you're fragile. Like you don't matter anymore. It starts so subtly. A friend forgets to invite you. A stranger looks right past you. Even your own children stop asking for your advice. And then one day, you look in the mirror and wonder, when did I start fading away? Not from the world, but from yourself. The heartbreaking truth: you're not alone. 72% of women over 60 say they feel invisible, forgotten, irrelevant. And most of them believe the same lie, that once your skin wrinkles and your body changes, your beauty dies with it. But what if I told you that lie was planted? Planted by companies selling you youth in a bottle. Planted by a society terrified of age because it cannot control it. They need you to feel small, so you'll stay silent. They want you to believe your worth expired. Because if you knew the truth, you'd be unstoppable. Because beauty doesn't die. It transforms. The kind of beauty that turns heads at 25 is nothing compared to the kind that silences a room at 65. They don't tell you this. Your silver hair can make people pause in awe. Your voice can stop someone mid-thought. Your presence can leave people haunted, in the most beautiful way. But most women, they never realize it. They let the world write their ending too soon. I'm here to stop that. Because right now, you may be carrying power you've forgotten, charm you've underestimated, and a beauty that's matured, sharpened, and waiting to be seen again. There are 7 silent signs, proven, subtle, and powerful, that reveal just how magnetic you still are. If even 3 of them apply to you, you're not just attractive. You're dangerous, in the best way. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't be wondering if the world still sees you. You'll make damn sure it does. Too many people wait until it's too late to take their health seriously. Don't be one of them. If anything today stirred something inside you, go to the comments and write, "I'm choosing strength." Say it like a promise to yourself. And make sure you tap subscribe and turn on notifications, because what we'll uncover next could add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Let's get started. Sign 1. Let me tell you something most people won't say out loud. You don't need to be young or flawless to turn heads. You just need to show up, with presence. We live in a world obsessed with image. But image is nothing without energy. And energy is something you carry, even in silence. Have you ever met a woman who walks into a room and suddenly the space just feels warmer, calmer, more grounded? She's not wearing designer clothes. She's not trying to be noticed. But people still gravitate toward her. That's presence. That's power. True attraction doesn't begin with your face. It begins with your spirit. It's in your posture. It's in the way you smile. It's in the calm confidence behind your eyes. I once met a 74-year-old woman at a community center. Her clothes were simple, her hair silver, tied in a loose bun. But every young person in that room wanted to talk to her, help her, sit beside her. Why? Because she radiated kindness, strength, and something rare these days, quiet confidence. Now here's the hard truth. Many women lose that presence because they stop believing they matter. And the moment you feel invisible, the world starts treating you that way. It's not your age making you fade. It's the shrinking of your self-worth. If you slouch, avoid eye contact, mumble through conversations, you're not aging quietly. You're disappearing. But not because you're old. Because you've been told to. Science backs this up. According to Psychology Today, it takes just 7 seconds for someone to decide whether they're drawn to you. And that decision has almost nothing to do with beauty. It's based on your nonverbal cues, your smile, posture, eye contact, tone. So if you're still standing tall, if you're still looking people in the eye, if your presence still makes someone feel safe, seen, or heard, you are magnetic. Sign 2. Let's be brutally honest. Fashion lies to older women. It tells you to either dress like you're still 25, or fade into beige. But true elegance, it has nothing to do with trends. It's about dressing in a way that honors who you are now. There's a certain magic in a woman who knows herself deeply. and chooses a scarf, a blouse, a pair of shoes, not to fit in, but to express her story. A woman I admire wears bold vintage scarves everywhere she goes. She's not chasing youth, she's celebrating her journey. And guess what? Young women compliment her all the time. Not because she looks young, but because she looks authentic. Real style after 60 isn't about looking younger. It's about looking whole. Here's what many people don't realize. Trying too hard to dress young often makes us look older. I once saw a woman in her 70s wearing ripped jeans and a crop top at a coffee shop. People didn't see her as confident, they saw her as insecure. On the other hand, a simple linen dress, a bold earring, a hairstyle that frames your face with grace. That turns heads. According to a 2023 Vogue report, women aged 25 to 34 are more likely to admire older women who age with authenticity than those who try to copy youth. Why? Because true style has depth. And depth is what youth longs for, but only age can earn. So here's the truth. Don't chase youth through clothes. Dress like a woman who's lived. Because that's the style young people secretly crave. Sign 3. You may not know this, but your voice still carries weight. Your stories still have power. And your gaze, yes, your eyes, still hold fire. We're not just attractive because of how we look. We're attractive because of how we connect. And connection, it begins with presence, but it's deepened by conversation. Think of a soft-spoken teacher from your childhood, or a grandmother who could tell a story so vividly you forgot the world around you. They weren't loud, they weren't flashy, but they knew how to speak to your soul. That's you, whether you realize it or not. People listen when wisdom speaks. But sadly, many older women fall silent. They believe the lie that no one wants to hear from me anymore. And in believing that, they stop talking. They stop shining. Here's the irony. According to Harvard Business Review, the most emotionally impactful form of communication as we age isn't how we look, it's how we talk. Older adults who stay conversationally engaged report higher happiness, better memory retention, and even lower rates of depression. So if you've been holding your stories back, stop. Train yourself to speak with warmth, clarity, and curiosity. Practice the art of asking questions, of telling tales, of using silence like punctuation. Your voice isn't just heard. It's remembered. Sign 4. Let's cut through the noise. You don't need to erase your wrinkles. You don't need to dye every silver strand. And you definitely don't need to contort yourself to fit someone else's idea of beauty. What you do need: health, vitality, integrity. Because real beauty after 60 isn't painted on, it's lived from the inside out. Take a good look at your skin. Is it glowing because of a $300 cream, or because you've been hydrating, sleeping better, and finally listening to your body? A healthy body radiates a beauty no makeup can fake. I've seen 70-year-old women with no makeup, hair silver as moonlight, and not a drop of Botox. But they glow. Not because they're trying, but because they're thriving. And yet, so many women fall into the same deadly trap. They reach for products instead of produce. They invest in serums, but ignore sleep. They spend hours on their appearance, but skip their morning walk. Here's the truth. A $50 moisturizer won't undo the damage of a high-sugar diet, poor circulation, or chronic dehydration. A thick foundation can't cover fatigue, inflammation, or hormonal imbalance. What can? Balanced nutrition. Movement that increases blood flow. Enough sleep to repair your skin from the inside out. Time in the sun. Time in silence. And posture. Oh, don't underestimate it. According to research from Johns Hopkins University, posture is one of the first things people notice about you. Standing tall, with shoulders relaxed and chest open, can make you appear 5 to 8 years younger, instantly. But it's not just about looking younger. It's about signaling strength, confidence. It tells the world, I'm here. I belong. I'm proud of every year I've lived. So before you buy another cream, ask yourself this. Are you treating the surface or nurturing the source? Because beauty isn't something you apply. It's something you build. Sign 5. When a 30-year-old woman walks into a room, people might notice her style. But when a 70-year-old woman walks into a room with real confidence, people pause. They don't quite know why, but something about her makes them listen. That's not arrogance. That's earned authority. And it's magnetic. True confidence in later life isn't loud. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't demand attention. It commands respect without asking. Think about it. You've survived heartbreak. You've raised children. You've buried loved ones. You've endured illness, disappointment, reinvention. You have walked through fire. And you're still standing. That's not confidence. That's power. The problem: many women mistake this quiet strength for pride, and suppress it. They apologize for taking up space. They soften their opinions. They shrink to be liked. But listen closely. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance says, "I'm better than you." Confidence says, "I'm whole, with or without your approval." There's no pretending here. You can't fake this kind of presence. It's in the way you look people in the eye. The calm way you say no without explaining. The quiet laugh that says, "I've been through worse, and I'm still smiling." Science agrees. According to Stanford University, women over 60 score significantly higher on the Authentic Confidence Index, a measure of decision-making clarity, emotional regulation, and self-trust. They're less reactive, less impressionable, less concerned with what others think, because they've seen enough to know. The world doesn't get to decide who you are. You do. So if you've ever been told to be quiet, be polite, or know your place, smile politely. Then take your place anyway. Because you don't need permission to be powerful. You already are. Sign 6. You can't download warmth. You can't scroll for connection. And no filter on Instagram can replicate what a warm, approachable woman brings into a room. At a certain age, society pushes us to step back, stay quiet, or fade out. But there's one thing they can't digitize: the calming, grounding presence of someone who knows how to make others feel seen. You don't need perfect social skills. You don't need to network or be charming like a talk show host. You just need to be human and open. I've met women in their 60s and 70s who barely say a word, but people flock to them. They listen deeply. They smile with their eyes. They make others feel important without trying. That's the kind of magic warmth creates. People aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to kindness. And yet, so many older adults become isolated. Not because the world stopped caring, but because they shut the door first. It often starts with disappointment, then withdrawal, then silence. But here's the hard truth. If you close yourself off emotionally, others will assume you're unavailable. And over time, they'll stop trying. This isn't about blaming the victim. This is about reclaiming your power. Because whether you're 45 or 85, warmth creates gravity. Need proof? According to research from Blue Zones, regions where people routinely live to 90 plus, the secret to long life isn't just green vegetables and yoga. It's social connection. In fact, people with strong friend groups in later life live 7 to 10 years longer, on average. Not because they're biologically different, but because they matter to someone. They belong. They laugh. They feel held, emotionally, not just physically. So if you've spent years behind walls, maybe today is the day you crack a window. Start with a smile, a kind word, a short chat at the coffee shop. You don't need to be young to be radiant. You just need to be open. Sign 7. Have you ever caught someone looking at you, twice? Not in a flirtatious way. Not in a judgmental way. But in that soft pause kind of way. As if something about you pulled their attention back without them realizing it. That wasn't an accident. You may think, oh, they were just being polite, or they probably thought I looked odd. But the truth, you're underestimating your own impact. Real magnetism isn't loud. It doesn't scream for validation. It hums quietly beneath your presence. In the way you tilt your head when listening, the way you laugh with your whole face, the way your eyes hold stories without needing to tell them. That's what makes people look again. Not because you remind them of someone, but because you remind them of something they don't see often anymore. Realness, depth, dignity. And yet, so many women believe the lie. No one looks at me anymore. I'm invisible now. I've aged out of being attractive. But here's what actually happens. They stop noticing the attention because they stop expecting it. And in doing so, they miss the glances, the admiration, the soft reverence. That's still there, quietly blooming around them. According to psychology research on the social glow effect, people with positive energy, self-acceptance, and emotional warmth are more likely to receive admiring looks, even when they're unaware of it. This glow is not about appearance, it's about essence. And age has nothing to do with it. A 75-year-old woman who walks with poise, smiles with honesty, and radiates kindness will always draw eyes. Not out of pity, but out of awe. So the next time someone holds the door a little longer, or lingers in conversation just a bit more, or simply notices you, don't dismiss it. Don't brush it off. Receive it. Because your presence isn't fading. It's becoming rare, and that makes it priceless. If you've ever believed that aging makes you fade into the background, let this be the moment that belief dies. Beauty isn't a breeze that only passes through youth. It's not something you used to have. It's something time chisels into you. Through every challenge you've overcome. Through every truth you've spoken. Through the way your presence now settles a room without you saying a word. You don't need to be the youngest woman in the room to be the most captivating. Because what truly pulls people in is not your skin, it's your spirit. It's your lived-in wisdom. Your calm certainty. Your quiet strength. Those things don't fade. They deepen. They solidify. They make you unforgettable. So now I have to ask, out of the 7 signs we've explored, how many did you see in yourself? If the answer is 3 or more, congratulations. That quiet magnetism you feel, it's real, and it's yours. But if you didn't recognize any yet, that's not failure. That's your starting point. Because confidence, warmth, presence, these are muscles. And like any muscle, they strengthen with attention, practice, and love. So I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Which signs felt familiar? Which ones felt like a wake-up call? Write them out, not just for me, but for you. Let your voice be heard again. Let the world know. I'm still here. And I'm still becoming. And don't keep this to yourself. Send this video to someone you care about. Your sister. Your mother. Your best friend who started shrinking from the mirror. Remind her that she is still the light in the room. Even after all these years. And finally, don't stop here. Because what you've learned today is just the beginning. In our next video, we're going to uncover 3 harmless morning habits that may be silently increasing your risk for stroke and memory loss after 60. And how to reverse them in just 15 minutes a day. People have changed their lives with a single shift in awareness. You could be next. So hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell. And join a movement of women who are no longer shrinking, but rising. Your body isn't betraying you. It's waiting for you to return to it. That's all for now. Friends, I hope this hit home and got you thinking about fighting for your health. I'm not stopping here. I've got more real-deal advice to keep you thriving, not just surviving. Subscribe and tap that bell. Don't let these gems pass you by, because you deserve every trick in the book to stay tough. We're in this together, and I can't wait to catch you in the next video. So hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell. And join a movement of women who are no longer shrinking, but rising. Your body isn't betraying you. It's waiting for you to return to it. That's all for now. Friends, I hope this hit home and got you thinking about fighting for your health. I'm not stopping here. I've got more real-deal advice to keep you thriving, not just surviving. Subscribe and tap that bell. Don't let these gems pass you by, because you deserve every trick in the book to stay tough. We're in this together, and I can't wait to catch you in the next video. So hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell. And join a movement of women who are no longer shrinking, but rising. Your body isn't betraying you. It's waiting for you to return to it. That's all for now. Friends, I hope this hit home and got you thinking about fighting for your health. I'm not stopping here. I've got more real-deal advice to keep you thriving, not just surviving. Subscribe and tap that bell. Don't let these gems pass you by, because you deserve every trick in the book to stay tough. We're in this together, and I can't wait to catch you in the next video.